Hey, I'm Lars and today I'm guiding you through the Hoka lineup. We're starting off with the good part, the daily trainers, and that mid-range, you can do it all type of shoe. Here you got 4 of them. And we start off with the most cushioned down to the least cushioned alternative for your daily runs. Skyflow is the premium alternative for daily training. It's a little bit on the heavy side compared to the other 3 here, but there you also get a new type of supercritical EVA midsole. Supercritical means that you have some gas blown into this type of midsole during the production, and that gives this shoe or that midsole just a little bit of a different pop when running. So here you combine a more stable daily trainer experience with that kind of a little bit funner, more modern foam. And then we go off to the classic. This is the Clifton 9. Clifton is a little bit lighter, it's a little bit more versatile maybe because of that weight, and Clifton is also known for being a soft midsole and a soft shoe to run in. This has normal EVA, which doesn't have that same type of pop maybe that the supercritical does, but it has a really nice, soft and versatile kind of feel when you're running it, especially because of that nice rocker. Lightest of the pure daily trainers is the Rincon 4, which is also EVA just like the Clifton 9, but in a very light package that makes this shoe a breeze to run in if you just want that light feel on your feet. And last of all in this category is the one that's kind of on the edge of being a tempo shoe and a daily trainer, and that's the Mach 6. The Mach 6 has a supercritical midsole just like the Skyflow. That gives it a little bit more pop, but it has a little bit more of a down to earth kind of midsole feel, so you get a little bit less underneath your feet. So here you get a shoe that's, as I said, borderline into a tempo shoe. A shoe that can do a little bit of those faster runs without having a plate. So in summary, the Skyflow is there as a premium daily trainer that has a lot of stability and cushion, but can still pick up the pace sometimes. If you just want that light and soft feel on your feet, then the Clifton is the way to go. Rincon 4 is that really super light experience that can still handle some cushion, but might not handle the speed. And then you have the Speedster, the Mach 6, which has a little bit less cushion, but that can go off without a plate. Next up, we jump up a weight class into the max cushioned daily trainers. Here we have 2 types of running shoes and they're wildly different. You have the Bondi 9 and you have the Skyward X. And then let's just start with the first thing, X. What does X mean? X means it has a plate. Skyward X is a new running shoe from Hoka, meant to be that long run, very cushioned, rockered daily trainer. Here you get 2 types of midsole foam, supercritical EVA and PIBA in a blend with a funky carbon plate here in the middle. This shoe is meant for longer days, daily training if you just want that kind of bounce and that roll off towards your next step. On the other hand, if you just want a shoe that's nice, stable, and that can handle you for every single day, then you have the Bondi. And in this case, this is the Bondi 9. Compared to the Bondi 8, there's a couple of differences between these shoes, but in essence, it's still the same type of shoe. The Bondi 9 has gotten just a tad more midsole, and it has gotten supercritical EVA. As I said earlier, gives just a tiny bit more pop, but it's still tuned in that kind of way where you get a little bit more of a stable feel, a little bit more of a cushioned, not super soft feel from the Bondi. So in essence, if you want a long run type of shoe, a shoe that helps you a little bit more in your step, then the Skyward X is the way to go. Bondi 9 or Bondi just helps you stay stable and cushioned during your daily runs. We've gone through the neutral daily trainers and here are the stability daily trainers. You have 2 different types, one a little bit more lightweight, one a little bit softer. And that's kind of it. You have Gaviota 5, a little bit of a softer type of feel. You have more foam, resembling a little bit to the Bondi, but in a stability version. You have an EVA midsole, you have a stability feature called H-frame that also helps you put some softer foam underneath your feet, which makes this a nice and cushioned alternative. But if you want more versatility, then you go with the Arahi 7. Here you get a lower weight, a more versatile running shoe that can handle more speeds, but you get a little bit less comfort. This shoe has a J-frame stability, which helps with guiding your foot without being too intrusive. Two great versions, one soft, one a little bit more versatile. Next up are the faster shoes, Tempo and Race Day. And I said earlier, the Mach 6 could sort of be placed in this area as well. But right now, we're taking in the X shoes. That means every shoe has a plate, although slightly different in different shoes. Let's start off with the Mach X2, which is that daily trainer Tempo Race Day Swiss Army knife of a shoe. This shoe is fast, it's fun, it's cushioned. It's that type of shoe for 90% of you who just want something to use for daily training as well as race day. Mach X2 combines PIBA and EVA for a stable but bouncy experience. On the other hand, if you want a speedster, but you want that newest type of technology, a really aggressive bounce and forward roll, then the Cielo X1 is a really cool option. You have carbon plate here, you have cutouts to decrease the weight as much as possible, and a pure PIBA midsole. PIBA, of course, the fastest foam out there. So here you get that lightweight, fun, fast, bouncy type of racing shoe. And the Rocket X2 is also a racing shoe, but this one might seem a little bit more conventional compared to the Cielo X1. Rocket X2 has full PIBA, it has a carbon plate, it has a lightweight upper, and is a little bit of a lighter experience compared to the Cielo X1. This shoe is blazingly fast, but not everybody feels fast when running in it because it also has a lot of comfort. So if you want to run half marathons, but you just want to feel nice and cushioned underneath, the Rocket X2 is a great option. So there you go, versatile daily tempo shoe / race day. You have the bouncy racer and you have a little bit more of that conventional racer. And then there are the trail shoes, and Hoka is very known for having great trail shoes, and the most known of all is the Speedgoat 6. This is the versatile trail shoe that can do a little bit of everything. So if it's a little technical, a little bit rugged, if it's a little bit cushioned you need, then you get a little bit of everything in the Speedgoat 6. The midsole is an EVA midsole that helps you with stability, but might not feel too cushioned. You also get pretty good grip from a Vibram Mega Grip outsole. Vibram never disappoints. Over to the next one is that Torrent 4, that lesser known sibling of the Speedgoat. The Torrent 4 is a little bit more agile, a little bit more speedy, but can't handle maybe as much of that rugged terrain as the Speedgoat 6 can. But this is my choice if I want to run a little bit more technical, but I still want some cushion for those daily miles. Underneath you have more of a normal Hoka outsole, still quite big lugs, so it can help you on a wetter day. And then you have the Tecton X3, which is a completely different beast. Here you have a full PIBA midsole, which means lighter and more bouncy and more comfortable for those longer runs. And that's exactly what this shoe is meant for: faster runs and longer runs. And especially on those longer runs, this gator type sock-like upper really helps you keep debris out. Imagine having to stop all the time to take out debris that falls into your shoe. Well, on your long runs, you just don't want that. You just don't want to stop, especially on longer races. I've used this on race days that are really short and longer days as well. And it's one of the best trail shoes I've ever tried. And that Mega Grip outsole is so grippy. But for the most technical parts, you might not want a Tecton X3. There you go more on the Mafate Speed and some of these guys over here. Mafate Speed 4 is that low to the ground, a little bit more agile, and a little bit of a rougher terrain type of running shoe. The midsole here is double layered, so you have a softer layer on top and a firmer layer on the bottom to give comfort but still ground feel for those technical parts. And that mega grip from Vibram, it just sticks. A little bit more of a rugged trail type of trail shoe, the Mafate Speed 4. And then you have the hybrid, the road to trail, the bridge between road and trail. This is the Challenger 7. Full EVA midsole, a little bit of a lighter shoe in total compared to a lot of trail shoes. And that's because it's also supposed to work really well on roads, on gravel roads, on forest roads, and forest trails. I would not take this in to the most technical parts, but it can handle a trip to the woods and back easily. In summary, the versatile shoe is the Speedgoat 6. If you want a little bit more speed, a little bit more technical ability, but still have some cushion, then you have the Torrent 4. For your longer runs and races, go with the Tecton X3. It's a blast. And for more rugged trails and more technical segments, the Mafate Speed with that low ground feel is a great option. If you just want to go into the woods here and there, Challenger 7 is an amazing shoe that still has a little bit of grip, even though it's in hybrid. And there you go, so many shoes that you can almost not fit them in one frame. This might be a little bit of a sensory overload, so jump back and forth and find what type of shoe fits your needs. If it's the most cushioned or the lightest, fastest alternative, just skip through, or you can read my article on runningexpert.com where you can find all of these amazing running shoes and buy them as well.